Before you book and plan your holiday to Lake Garda, you have to watch this video. I'm Fredrik and I've been to Lake Garda 15 times at least, and I will show you in this video all my tips and tricks. I will also recommend you to watch my other content because we've covered so much that there is to know about Lake Garda. In this two-part guide before our summer holiday, I will go through everything you need to know as to how to get to the lake in the best possible way, where to stay obviously, and which village to choose, as well as all the tips and tricks of things you need to know before planning your holiday, so you can make sure and see if Lake Garda is for you or not. Welcome back to the second part of the guide that you need to see before heading to Lake Garda. In this part of the guide, we will more focus on which village is right for you and which one should you go for. If you want to see them all in depth, we have so much content on this channel. We have a 3-part guide that covers the lake in its whole. We have a guide to the 10 best restaurants in the lake. We have a guide of the 10 best bars. And then we also have 7 guides to the village individually, from Riva del Garda, Limone, Malcesine, Torri del Garda, Brenzone and Bardolino. So there's a lot of guys you can go and see after you've seen this one, if something that I say might interest you. Let's start up with families and maybe kids, dogs, huge families, small families, coming in by car, coming in by train. I would say that the best option for you guys are either Riva del Garda on the northern tip or Garda, the main town. Not only are these the biggest villages, I would say, around the lake, but also they are more like classic resort towns. So most of the hotels have a pool, which is always nice if you have a family with kids. I would say also that there's a bit much more to do around this area, especially up in Riva, where there's long beaches, there's lots of fun going on. You can try bikes, well, rent kayaks, well, just a lot of things. Also, Riva is a surfer's paradise, if you didn't know this, for windsurfing. Also, the neighbor village Torbole, they're quite close to each other. You can actually walk between them. So if you have children or if you're interested yourself in windsurfing, these 2 villages are the ultimate option for you. But I think in general that Riva, maybe Torbole as well as Garda down in the middle of the lake, are the perfect choices for families, since they're a little bit bigger but also have more like classic resort style hotels with pools and, well, feels more convenient, I guess, for families. And quite easy also to get around if you have a stroller maybe, or with small children. I think it is a good choice. Let's talk romance, romantique, le romance. Well, most people, I think at least, going to Garda or planning to go to Garda are couples in some sort, and that will leave a lot of options depending on who you are as a person. I've always said and always truly believe that the most romantic village around the entire lake is Limone, and it probably is. Also, Limone has its downsides because of how small it actually is. There's not really much to do around Limone, but if you're only looking for this picture-perfect, Instagrammable, romantic spot to spend your holiday, Limone is an absolute must. However, there are towns that I think offers a bit more. Obviously, Malcesine on the opposite side of Limone is a great choice. It still has the charm that Limone has, maybe just a little bit bigger, but also has a lot more to offer in terms of, well, bars and restaurants and things to do in general around the lake. And also Malcesine is located in a way you can actually walk to some other villages close by, and it's also in like the middle of the interesting part of the lake, if you ask me. So you can get to Limone by boat as a day trip, you can go up to Riva with a bus or boat, and you have like Garda. You're in the middle of everything, so it's geographically a quite good spot, to be honest. Limone is more by itself, so if you choose to go to Limone, I mean, you can obviously take the boat over to Malcesine or up to Riva, but Limone itself is actually quite isolated on the western shore of the lake. If you don't like mountains, well, Bardolino is obviously a good choice. It's quite flat when it comes to Bardolino, so the mountain has kind of flattened down for that part of the lake. Bardolino is obviously very well known for its wine, and the village has a lot of restaurants, wine tastings, and well, still the average, I would say, Garda charm with a nice lakeside and so on. It's just not my personal favorite, but I know that a lot of people would argue that Bardolino is one of the most beautiful places around the lake, and I have made a guide to it, so I mean, go watch it, maybe for a bit more elderly, because it's quite easy to get around in Bardolino because of the fact that there's no up or down hill. It's quite flat, so it's easy to do, easy to walk, and easy to, well, get around in the town, so to speak. Garda is the main town around the lake, and I think it offers a variety of everything. So I would say in a way that Garda is for everyone, as much as for the families, as for couples, as for, well, anyone basically. Garda is one of my favorite villages around the lake, and I think it deserves so much more attention than it actually gets. And I would say that if I could just like randomly choose a place to go by the lake today, it would probably be Garda, because it has everything from beach bars to very, very good restaurants, some of the best ones around the lake, I would actually go as far to say, as well as, well, a lakeside charm. The harbor down by the lake is so lively. You have live music every night of the week basically, and it's, well, one of the most lively places around the lake in a very good way. Still, it has all the charm of the small alleyways that any old town around the lake have, so I think that Garda is a good option if you're looking for a little bit of everything. Torri del Benaco is quite close by, and it's also, I would say, quite small. It has the Limone vibe in the fact that it's a small romantic town, not so much to do as in the other villages, but very charming and very calm compared to some of the other villages. So not that much tourism compared to some of the other lakeside villages. So Torri might actually be a good option if you want the calmness of Limone, but not as much people as Limone. That leaves kind of Brenzone, which is more of an area than a town actually, because Brenzone is a scatter of, I don't know, maybe 10 different towns, but it is the place you go if you just want to calm down. Because Brenzone is the most dead, calm place around the entire lake. And I mean, there might be people watching this who think that, well, then why is the point to go there? And there will be people watching this thinking, wow, that's the way I want to go. And that's exactly what it is. Brenzone is not for everyone. Brenzone is really for the people who like to do literally nothing on their holiday. There are small sleeping fishing villages. Normally they have 1 up to like 3 restaurants per village. So you have to walk around, but it's easy to reach them all. We stayed in Burago last time, and that was in the middle, kind of in the Essenza area. And that meant that we can actually walk either way when we got down to the lake. And within like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, we will reach any town around Brenzone for dinner. It's just a very charming way, in my opinion, to explore the lake and to discuss during the afternoons which village we will go to tonight and where we will have dinner, and just plan for that. And it's, well, it was actually the first time that I stayed in Brenzone. I've been in Brenzone many times, but last year was the first time I really stayed there, and I can wholeheartedly say that I will be back. I think that vacation in Brenzone is so underrated, and I look forward so much to returning to Brenzone. That's just my opinion. So, what have you learned during these 2 guides? Well, hopefully a lot. You learned that you need cash. You learn how to reach the lake either by car, by train, or for that matter, if you come in by plan, try and find tickets for Bolzano. That is your best bet if you're coming in by plane. You have learned that it's quite hard to travel around the lake because there's only buses or your own car as a possibility, and there are lots of traffic jams around the lake, so expect long travel times wherever you more or less are going. You could actually opt to take a boat if you want to travel somewhere else, but then you have to plan a long time ahead because the boats don't run as often. Quite expensive depending on how long you're going, and not only the best way all the time, it might be packed on the ferries as well. Otherwise, buses and cars are your only option, so just plan accordingly. It will be fine, I promise. So worth traveling to Lake Garda in general, and I can't recommend it enough. With that being said, we're taking a summer holiday break. After this video, we will return in September with a lot of new material for you. I have so much cool places to make content about in store for you. I've already been on 1 holiday, so I already shot lots of fantastic content that I'm so proud to show you in the future. I would like to wish you all a fantastic summer. If you want more from our channel, we will be posting small guides to cities throughout the summer as well, just to keep you a bit entertained during the summer holiday. I will see you back with new content in September. In the end, always remember, it is not about the destination, it is what you make of it that counts. Till next time, stay safe. Yeah.